We will call the Public Safety Committee of the City of Hudson to order. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Olms.
Here.
Alderperson Hall.
Here.
Alderperson Morset.
Here. Number 2, discussion possible action on minutes of June 9th, 2016.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Number 3, discussion and possible action to conduct the 3rd annual high school band color run on Saturday, September 24th, 2016, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., beginning and ending at the Hudson High School. Chief Jensen.
Again, they call it the chromatic color run. It's been the marching band run. It's a fundraiser for the band department, so they can go on their trips. The map on there shows you, it's basically the same run that St. Pat's Church does usually in the fall. Like last year, all the color stations which are on the map are on public property, so they're not on people's residence. They're the dry, starch-colored colors, so they wash up with water, so there's no problem with that. We haven't had any issues with it since it started 3 years ago, so I would recommend it be approved.
Any conversation?
Construction by this point should not be a consideration, right?
No, construction will be
Right.
west of their location, so they'll be good.
That's the only question I had.
Okay.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 4, discussion, possible action to conduct the Helping Hands through HIBA on Saturday, October 8th, 2016, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Lakefront Park. Ms. Angel, if you take the podium, state your name and address for the record, please.
Angel Durati, 105 2nd Street, Hudson, Wisconsin. So what HIBA is it's Hudson Independent Business Association. We'd like to make this an annual event. This year we picked 5 nonprofits, so it would be the Explorer Program, Operation Help, Coco's Heart Dog Rescue, Away with Help, Sustain Hudson, and The Bridge for community. To have a big fundraiser down in the park to raise money for them, for the community of Hudson. What we're gonna do is we would use that band shell. We would have food vendors. There'd be no alcohol involved. We'd also sell sponsorships for other businesses to have booths up. And it would be a fun family event, a lot of activities for kids, so. And then Coco's Heart would have dogs on site. They do have liability insurance for $2 million that we carry at the store too, and they're willing to up it if need be, if you guys felt more comfortable.
Are you inviting the public to bring their animals as
No.
well? Okay,
We're
but
actually
how
gonna
many will they have, rescues?
They'll probably have like 20 to 30 there in a confined area. And then they usually have one person up in front that actually guides the families in. Then each dog is sponsored by an individual to on leash.
Yeah, they'd have to be on leash. Or,
Yeah, they're all on leash.
I think, Marty, you and city attorney should get a copy of the insurance and keep that.
I think that was sent in, that's not part of the packet?
Was it?
No, I didn't send it, but
Okay.
I can send it over.
Right, and I think if we just have that sent up to the city clerk's office, just to have that on file.
Okay,
And it would be safer that way.
okay.
Any questions from the committee members for Angel? Did you have something further?
Yeah, today at our meeting, we want to use that area around the band shell, and there's actually a walkway around the band shell. Well, today came up if we could have the art students at the Hudson High School, actually, we would sell spaces to business so they could draw on the sidewalk with chalk. We were wondering if that would be okay as long as we only use the area around the.
I don't think we would have a problem, but the park board might want to.
Well, as long as it's just chalk that.
It's just chalk.
Normally kids would write on the asphalt, it comes right up, so I don't think that would be an issue.
Okay.
Any further questions?
Angel should get a hold of Leanne from the city clerk's office in regards to the food vendors.
I
and their
did.
Permits, all right.
And we'll get that filled out and I'll get that over
Okay.
too, so.
And the insurance liability.
Yep, I'll get those both over by next week.
I'll move to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
and just contingent on getting
And
that
contingent on the insurance and the, what else was
food
it?
vendors.
The food vendors, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5, discussion possible action to conduct the inaugural St. Croix Regatta Sale and September 10 and 11, 2016 at the south end of Lakefront Park. Please state your name and your address for the record,
I'm
please.
Beth Soltis. My address is 520 Knollwood Drive. I live right here in Hudson. Thanks for asking me to come and talk to you about this. We're very excited about this. This is the first inaugural Sail and Share Regatta. It's being put on by the St. Croix Sailing Club. We sail right out of the marina down here at the end of the road. We have had regattas in the past. We usually have the regatta at around about Labor Day, and we moved it because we were seeing that there's conflict on that weekend. A lot of people are busy; they're out of town. We actually invite other boats from other marinas to come and sail with us and be participants in our race. A regatta, if you're not familiar, a regatta is defined as a number of races. So we will have anywhere from 2 to 11 races over the course of 2 days. Most of the events will happen at the marina itself, but we would like to also use the south end of Lakefront Park, which is why I'm here. This year, not only have we moved the date, but we've also added a fundraising component, which we are hoping to continue and make a significant improvement to sailing opportunities specifically for children. So the funds that we raise will be going to, we've identified 2 local charities. We're going to have funds going to the St. Croix Sailing School, specifically for programs for children. And also the Camp St. Croix, the YMCA camp, again, for programs for children. The way the event will work, it starts out Saturday morning with a skipper's meeting that lays out the rules of the race. And then the races will be conducted over the remainder of that day. When the races are over at the end of the day, then we'll have dinner and festivities at the marina, and then the reason for the park is after the festivities at the marina itself, then we would like to come outside and have music and have a raffle and have silent auctions. Some of that is fundraising possibilities for us as well. So we've submitted information about how a lot of that will happen. We will be having a band. The band will be at the southern side of the city garage, facing the marina, so the sound will go towards the marina, and they will stop playing at 10 o'clock, so we won't be hanging out late, because, of course, we need to get up and sail in the morning, be ready to do that. And then there will be any number of races the following day, an award ceremony, and the end. But we're really excited to be adding the fundraising component to this year. We haven't done that in the past. And so we're hoping that we'll have real good participation, and this will be a way that we can actually, give back to the community and be more of a member of the community.
How many folks are you anticipating?
We're hoping to get as many as 30 boats, would be really nice. The people who would be participating then would be the skippers, the crews, their families. We have sponsorships available, donors. So we're expecting maybe 100, 150 people total.
And on Saturday is the only day it's open to the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Sunday is just going to be racing and award ceremony.
Is that open to the public on Sunday?
I can't imagine who would be interested or how they would participate. I
Well,
think that'll be at the marina.
My concern, you're asking to use a public park, so, there will be people down there.
Yes, right.
And it's not our position to kick those folks out if they're taxpayers.
Right. And it's not our intention to impose barriers or anything like that. We're asking we're renting 10 tables, I think, from the city, picnic tables, so that we'll have a little bit more
Are you
space.
having alcohol involved?
There'll be alcohol at the marina.
It would not be able to leave the marina.
My understanding was that if someone wanted to bring their own to the park, if that fits the rules
That
of
end
the park.
park?
But we will not be serving in the park.
Okay.
And as long as it doesn't leave the marina as an open container into the park.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Chief, any other concerns about this?
No, and I just wanted to make sure that this got on the agenda so that we had to take a look at it. I don't anticipate any issues with it.
Parking issues? I mean, it's no different than the mess we've had over this last weekend.
But we're talking
Little less.
first part of September, everybody's back in school. The weekends aren't as crowded down in the St. Croix as they would be if it was Labor Day weekend or in August.
Okay.
So I don't anticipate any problems.
Any committee?
Is there any water safety issues with the regatta? You've done this before, right?
Yeah.
There's no,
And the regatta's on the south side of 94, so
Yes,
it's
other side of the bridge.
outside the city of Hudson.
got it.
Right. We have, we motor, usually we motor under the bridge.
Sure.
And out there. And then
Gotcha.
we hope for wind. So when we see the beautiful balloons, then we're doomed. 'Cause they don't want wind, we want wind, they don't want wind.
Is there any need for insurance with the band and that part of it?
You know what, I don't think so. I can check with Leanne.
Okay.
I think the question should be asked.
Mhm.
Yes.
We can ask. Sure,
Yeah.
that's not a problem.
Okay.
I'll check with Leanne.
Any other?
Well, I'll move to approve contingent on insurance needs.
I'll second.
Any further discussion, any of you two chiefs? No? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We'll recommend approval to council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Say hi to Neil. Number 6, discussion possible action on traffic safety issues on Vine Street. This is the reoccurring issues. I think, council, we had an issue with the XL Energy thing. I don't know if you guys had time to think about that or look at it. There was a suggestion by Mr. Weber. Did you see that? Did that go to you?
I
It
haven't
might
seen
be
it.
useful to create a temporary 4-way stop at Third and Locust for the remainder of the Vine Street construction. Would be a good fit with using Wisconsin 7th and Locust as a recommended tour to downtown. Perhaps a 3-way at 7th and Locust with a sign and a turn left for Highway 35 access. I'll forward this to you.
I know we made that suggestion, but we haven't had any issues at those intersections as of yet. I haven't even seen any traffic back up those intersections.
Well, this is just for the, you have 2, I don't know if I'll go to you. This is for when XL now closes from, what is it, 4th Street to 9th? Or
Well, they're not
7th.
All the way to 12.
Yeah, 7th to 12th.
7th to 12th, but we're gonna have, before they even go to 6th Street, we're gonna have 3rd, 4th, and 5th Street are gonna be open. So there's gonna be ways to get to the north side, so I'm not sure why we would need those other.
Before Excel starts?
Yeah, well, Excel's gonna start here probably in another week or so.
But they're
and
planning on closing everything.
they're-
Right.
Well, but they're getting ready, they've already started pouring curb and gutter. So they're getting ready to start, gonna put a lift on there, so I don't think it's gonna be too much longer, and those intersections are gonna be opening up.
Well, my concern on Monday was, where are we routing all these people? And we need to make sure we're doing
Well,
it safely
My-
through the
my-
neighborhoods.
Right, and obviously their plan is to have them go down Wisconsin Street to 7th and then down and come back, which would be no different than if they went down Vine to 7th over to Wisconsin and then came down. I think the traffic's gonna be about the same. My only concern, and I brought that up at the meeting we had with Xcel Energy, is that you have all those houses between 9th and 12th Street that are on the south side of the roadway. You've gotta be able to have access in and out during the day. There's several houses along there, and they said that there would be access for those people, so.
Okay. And we need to make sure we'll have this on our next agenda too, Melanie, so we can make sure when they get up to those troubled areas, we can make sure we've got the traffic measures that we're looking to do, that they get done. from either the signs and the blinking lights and all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
when we get closer. And then at that time, we'll invite the engineer in and
Okay,
have conversations with him.
Most likely the next meeting.
I would think so, because they're getting up there.
Right, right.
Any questions or concerns about the Vine Street or the safety overall? Yes, Chief?
Just one positive thing, I guess, that came out of Vine Street. I know we kind of been beating this a lot, and there's a lot of we were able to do a training between third and fourth on Vine, confined space training in the new storm sewers. So we had 2 different ones, and we had 2 different scenarios. Chief Lissick was there, and it was a great training for us and a great opportunity to do that, because it's not typically somewhere we can do, and it was all new and the deeper ones. So it was a great training for us, because it's something we might run into, or we do run into the confined space. So I guess if there's one positive to come out of the whole Vine Street project, enable us to do some training that we normally would not be able to do. So we did take advantage of that, and I thought it was good. I think, like I said, Chief Lissick was there, and I think he thought it was a great training, and it gave us an opportunity that we normally wouldn't have. So
Maybe you should do a gas line leak rupture too, as long as you got them down there. And
hopefully we'll.
Good.
So.
Any further discussion on Vine Street? Just keep that in the back of your minds as you're going around town and you're listening to your constituents, that if there's a concern, that we bring it up.
all right, well, we've got this accident data for 9th and 7th, so what are your thoughts on that? Is that enough to justify a stop sign?
Pretty darn close. That's quite a few. What majority of those accidents were what, Marty? T-bone?
Again, if you take a look at the data, especially for Vine Street at 9th, and it's hard to tell without getting the hard paper copies, because sometimes if the data is not entered correctly into our database system,
A lot of rear ends.
might not be intersection-related accidents. They could be so many feet away. But if you do take a look at it, you got 17 on, and then 9 the other way. So we're talking since 1999, I believe, Melanie, is when she ran this. We've had 26 accidents at 9th and Vine over, we're talking a 17-year period. So we're talking maybe one a year again, but it's not always intersection related.
Like I said, it's for us to think about a stop sign, but, those are not the answers. Those are not what those are for. And I don't know if that's the intersection to do that or not. I'm assuming we've all read the policy and whether it falls into that category or not.
Yeah. There just are so few ways of slowing down the traffic. That's the real issue. And a stop sign is one way of doing it, but I don't know.
You looking for a 4-way? Well, you'd have to.
You'd have to.
I guess we could talk about that at the next meeting. Unless there's a reason.
No, I think we should wait till the next meeting and talk about it. Yeah, I don't know.
What is the current plan for 9th and Vine? 9th and Vine is the flashing signal, the walkway. That's the current.
That's the
Right.
current plan, to put that
Yeah.
pedestrian cross in there, correct?
Gotcha.
And if we're gonna all of a sudden change it to a stop sign, this is the time we better decide before we invest in the other stuff.
And again, since they've redone that intersection or taken and moved those light poles, I've gone there, especially when you made that comment the last time about the sightlines.
Yeah.
You can see almost all the way down the hill when you pull up to that intersection on the 9th Street Hill. So at least if you're going northbound. Southbound is a little bit different because of people's fences and so forth, but if you pull up where you should be to be able to see, you can see traffic.
Yeah.
So I think we have to wait until we get done with the project to take a look at it and see what it looks like before I think the council should make a decision on that, so.
And I guess it wouldn't be too hard if we did a solar or however we did these flashing lights. Switch it to a stoplight, solar flashing stop sign if that was the case. So, I think there's opportunity, a little more research, but we need to
Mhm.
And maybe the engineer will have to be here at our next meeting.
Okay.
Do you want the city engineer, Tom, to come? All right.
Any further discussion up there on that? Moving on to 7, department updates, EMS. Brian?
All I have is our 4 new EMTs we hired are all almost off probation, and they'll be taking shifts on their own here probably within the next month.
Okay. Thank you. Chief?
We were audited by the state, and we passed our audit for the inspections.
Very nice. Thank you.
That being said, we had a lot of verbal orders last year. This year, we're finding we're following up with a lot. I think I presented some of those cards and handouts that we presented where they're self-compliance and sending it in. So we're probably another year to 2 away to see the effect of the plan and compliance.
Are you getting returns?
We're getting the returns, but then now next year we'll be able to go back to verify that things were done. I don't have a doubt that they're getting done. Seem to be getting positive feedback on that with the property owners and that. So, but we're working on the compliance stuff. As we continue to grow and get busier, we're obviously going to have to staff accordingly.
Right.
And I think we have to seriously look at that. Right now, we're a little bit behind in the monthly if you break it out per month, but summer's usually busier time. We have another part-time stipend employee who does it, so we'll have a little better idea come September. That being said, our audit was also, it's all-inclusive. They go over to make sure all our 2% dues money is spent correctly, so they audit our books because we have to use that money for safety, and there's certain areas that has to be spent in, so it's not just the inspection portion of the audit, but we hit all the points on the whole audit, so that was good. We also worked with the sewer department. They had, I don't know if you're aware, they had a couple big plugs downtown recently, and they're finding, I think it maybe was some grease issues, so the department director and I got together, and he drew up we kind of got a plan. He drew up a letter we sent out to all the businesses that have grease traps, and we're going to be inspecting their compliance with our inspections. So we set up a form he sent out in a letter. So we're going to try to see how that works.
Where were the issues?
I think on 3rd Street and on Walnut. So it's a way that we kind of work together so they don't have to send someone out. We get out there and we're going to try that, and he sent the letter out. So far the few I've done, it's been good compliance, and they're taking care of them. So we're good trying to work together as departments to utilize resources instead of putting more people out there. So we'll see, and that so far it's been going good. We also, David Gray is working on the RFP for some station remodel for the fire station. Coming out of the advisory in regards to that, it's my understanding that the RFP for the EMS building is on hold. So the advisory board wants me to go out and possibly get some prices on temporary offices and storage for the fire station in case because I'm not sure where this is all going, but it sounds like there might be more of a longer time frame than we're talking about. I don't really know. That being said, we're still moving forward. Dave's moving forward with the building stuff, so we're excited to see how that comes back, and then they can present that I believe it's going straight to the council. And we're hiring. We're in the process of the interview. Next Monday, the Police and Fire Commission is going to go over the candidates, and then we're going to go through the interview process. And let's see what else we have going on. Just a lot of busy with runs. We had about 5 or 6 runs over the holiday. Again, if you see anyone on the fire department, thank them for their holiday weekend, them show them up and going out on the runs. And I was out of town, but thank God they were all here and take care of it. But so other than that, I think that's about it.
Good. Any questions?
Just back to the inspections, you said September. What is the time frame for the inspection process to happen from the state level?
We're at the calendar year.
Got it. Okay.
So it has to happen within that calendar year.
Gotcha.
Typically, though, the summers are when we end up doing a few more. And the flip side is we get busier with the construction side of it too. So, the inspections we talk about or reference here are the annual inspections, and it's a part of what we do. but also we have so much building construction going on and remodeling. I'm kept really busy with, between plan review and sprinkler inspections and re-inspections, and so there's a lot of that going on too, and new occupancies. So when I do talk about the inspections, I'm talking about annual inspections, but we also do another big part of it is the other inspections, so the construction inspections.
Cool, thanks.
Chief Jensen?
Our newest officer that got sworn at the end of June has already started, Kirk Roy. And with that, the other 3 new officers, Wilburn twins and Kyle Knepler, have finished their FTO program. They're out on their own, so we're only short 1 officer right now. So that has helped out quite a bit, especially just before the 4th of July weekend started. 4th of July was busy for us, but nothing really major. We had a couple nights just before the 4th of July weekend that came in that we were kind of busy on, but mostly was just, and they're off. It was mostly, calls. I think we only had 1 or 2 fight calls, but I think by the time we got there, it was pretty much, they were done and gone. So
Okay.
a lot of reports, but nothing major, so that was a good sign.
Very good.
We are going to be meeting, I'm going to be meeting with the parking survey company coming up on the 21st when I get back, along with our parking enforcement personnel to go over some data and information they're looking for from us.
Okay.
So that's what we got coming forward on that, and otherwise, that's it.
Okay. Number 8, approved informational item, approved park reservation and special events for the remainder of 2016. I'm not sure why that ended up on the,
Bill had asked for, there was 2 events that were scheduled for one day, so you had asked for the rest of the approved events and reservations. And these are the events and reservations in the park that have been approved so far for the remainder of the year.
okay. And what did
Yeah, and I think that was the conflict, that was at the previous meeting, right?
Yes.
So it was a conflict with, as we're looking out, just making sure that there wasn't too many happening all at the
Yeah.
same time, at the same, yeah,
Yep, the car show and one of the races was the same
Right.
time.
that's what it was.
And usually what ends happening is that before they come to us, they go to Debbie in Public Works and make sure that the park's available for that day before we even get to this point, so.
Gotcha.
Sounds like everybody's going someplace.
Yeah. I would like, and now they left, but I would like you guys to start thinking about your budgets. Bring those ideas, what you're thinking. Pass it on to the EMS and fire.
Devin said at the last department head meeting, he's gonna try to get it out by the end of this month or the beginning of next month, and I think once we get an idea of
Yeah.
what he would like us to budget for, then we can start coming forward, so.
But your capital ideas and what you think, so
Yep.
this committee can take a look at what you're looking for.
Okay.
Any other items from the committee members?
No.
And I thank everybody that worked on this past 4th of July weekend with our EMS, fire, and police. They did a great job. Like you said, Marty, there were no major incidents. I think everything was in a good time by all.
Turned out
was
really
had.
well. We estimated about maybe 12 to 15,000 people down at Lakefront Park for the fireworks, so.
Yeah.
Turned out to be very nice.
So very nice job to the boosters and your guys' departments.
Thank you.
Seeing that, that's all we have.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you very much. We are adjourned.